Hey, what's up, everybody? What's up? Maha, yes, this is day 2, bro. Did we start another challenge? No, it's the same challenge. We just moved over from the $100 to $10,000 now. So it's the same challenge, just different phase. What's up, Ryan, bro? All right, so today I have two setups, both on gold and Nasdaq. The only thing is they're both longs, so both long trades, and typically Nasdaq moves the opposite direction of gold, so that's a little bit something that we need to be wary about. But we'll just see what looks like the best opportunity. I think gold looks a little bit better than Nasdaq for longs. Yeah, definitely looks a little bit better. So let's take a look at Nasdaq quickly. All right, so we have our Monday high over here. Monday high, as well as Monday's low. Sorry, it's Tuesday. Tuesday low. Today is Wednesday, right? Yeah. So that's Tuesday's high. And then we have our golden zone. So again, our golden zone is our 0.5 and 0.618. So mark it here. Tuesday GZ stands for Tuesday golden zone. And then we have our 1.618 over here. Tuesday. All right, so we've drawn our daily high, our daily low for yesterday, as well as our 1.618. Now we just need to see, essentially, if we can get a retest on support over here, we could look good for longs, but also keep in mind within our golden zone we also have a couple fair value gaps. All right, we have one over here and we have one over here. So these are our fair value gaps. What's up, Jamie? What's up, bro? So we have our fair value gaps. So essentially, if price had to come to our golden zone just on the top as well as support, we have to keep an eye that price might fulfill these golden zones over there. So in that scenario, what we would do, we would dissect it into a 5-minute time frame, see if Nasdaq will push further down. If it does push further down, best case scenario, we probably will take an entry, probably something like this. So our entry would be 18,719. I'll probably have SL at 7.5, something like this, and then we'll be aiming for something over there. Alright, so that's what I would look at for Nasdaq. For extra confluence, let's just see if we can dictate some trend lines over here. So we have a descending on the 15-minute trend. Bro, what about the $100 to 10K? This is that challenge, bro. This is the same challenge. We already finished our $100 challenge. And then over here, we have something like this. All right. So yeah, essentially, if price had to come down, we have extra confluence, support, fair value gap, as well as the golden zone. So this key area over here looks very, very promising. All right. But again, we have to keep in mind for the fair value gaps over here. All right. So I'm just going to leave this as is for now. That is essentially what I'm looking for with Nasdaq today. Longs, and then I'll probably look for shorts at about 18926, which is the same area where I was looking for shorts yesterday. Alright, so with gold today, same thing. We have our Tuesday high, Tuesday low, and then we have our golden zone. Okay, already marked out. Let's just label it TGZ, which stands for Tuesday golden zone. And one thing that we forgot is our 1.618. So we can see that gold essentially came close to our 1.618, which was also last week's high, and rejected, right? So that's a good sign that price would potentially go further down. But we just need to keep this in mind. So Tuesday 1.618. Alright, so essentially with gold, I would look for price ideally coming down to trend as well as Tuesday golden zone. That entry would be 2511. We'll probably look at SR 2505, something like that. Aiming for this, but my main target is actually 2550. 2550. So let's take our golden zone again and see if we'll have a 2.618. So yeah, we have our 2.618 over here, which is 2574. We'll mark this as well. Tuesday 2.618. So yeah, like I said, we're looking at longs from both. What's up, JMO? So gold, looking at longs at 2511, stop loss would be 2505, and then with Nasdaq, we're essentially looking at longs anywhere from 18744 till about 18717. It's actually quite a good range. Did your Instagram get hacked? No, it got taken down. It got taken down because a lot of people, or one person, like reported that it's a fake account. So essentially I'm impersonating myself, but I have a connection at Instagram, so I'm gonna get it back like this week. But I do have a backup. So yeah. Why do people do that? It's literally the second time this year that it's happened to me. It happened to Ethan a couple weeks ago, but it's the second time that my Instagram got taken down like this year. I don't know why. Don't know why, but yeah. They want to be your friend so badly. Bro, it's just so annoying. Like, also from Instagram's part. So the thing is, if you didn't have if you don't have someone to get your Instagram back, you literally can't, there's no way you'll be able to get it. So yeah, it's literally gone forever. but I'll sort it out. So guys, that's the setups I'm looking at for Nasdaq and gold. If you guys have any questions, just type it down below. I'll probably stay on stream for a little bit just to see if we do get anything, but I'm looking at this move possibly happening at New York session, so in essentially like 2.5 hours. News, yeah, there is news today, right? Economic calendar. Oh yeah, so there's CPI today, which is fucking crazy. Filter. So yeah, there's CPI today. So CPI will definitely move the market. Whether it will be in our favor or not, I'm not too sure. But we'll probably look to take trades after 2:30. So if you guys have any questions, you guys can ask. Otherwise, you guys are welcome to leave, and I'll go live again. I'll probably go live during CPI, so I'll actually go live in like an hour and a half. Put the gold chart up again. Sure. There you go. Yeah, gold's pretty simple. Nasdaq, a little bit more choppier, but with news, to be honest, it could go anywhere. What MA you use? Oh wait, okay. How do you decide to use 15-minute or hourly trend lines? I just use both. It just depends if there's like a solid repetition to dictate whether that's a trend line or not. But I always use both. Obviously, like the higher time frame that you go, the stronger the trend is. But because we're obviously day trading, it's also quite important to use trend lines on the 5 and 15-minute. But you don't want to have like a ton of trend lines everywhere. Just use what's important. What MA using? It's just moving averages. I actually don't really use it. I just had it on just to show an example to someone else before. You mentioned fair value gap at entry. If you look a little lower, is there a fair value 2506? Yeah, there is another fair value gap over here as well. Definitely. What lot size? Um, so gold, Nasdaq would be a 0.01. For gold, I'd probably use between a 0.05 to a 0.08. But to be honest, like with CPI and stuff, our entries will probably be a little bit different to this. But this is just my bias. But we'll probably have a different entry. Slightly under 1%, Ron. So Nasdaq will be a 0.01, but it just depends what kind of entry we get. But I think I'll probably risk 0 point per trade. I'll probably risk like 0.5 to 0.7%, something like that. I don't wanna just go ham with 1%. I see you did fib between high and low. How can we decide if we have to do downside or upside? It just depends on your bias, Maha. So you draw your fib based off your bias. So if your bias is long, right, you draw it from the top to the bottom. All right, and then if your bias is short, then you draw it from the bottom to the top, like this. And you'll see obviously your levels will change. So always dictate what's your bias. After 1.5 hour, there is CPI. Yes, there's CPI today. 1 hour and 28 minutes. So we reverse the direction of the fib. Got it. Yeah, exactly. So yeah, Maha, just dictate what your bias is. Obviously to dictate your bias, you would look how price has been moving for the week, the previous week, and the daily time frame. Thereafter, you can see like, hey, cool, like, you know, did yesterday's close stronger? Did it close weaker? Could we see a reversal? Could we see a continuation to the upside? So always just dictate what your bias is, and then that's obviously how you would structure your trade. Is it viable to swap the previous week bias to long? As you see, golden zone is also close to entry point. Is it viable to swap the previous week bias to long? Previous week bias? So yeah, like if you have a look at gold, right? So the week of the 26th of August, we essentially had a spinning top, but both these candles, it's like mixed feelings in the market, right? There's no pure direction. It's just been like essentially consolidating within this area for the past like 4 weeks. The previous week, we just managed to close bearish, but for this week so far, it looks like price might surpass and essentially break this resistance. Yes, there's still a chance that price might go lower, just looking at the weekly time frame. But my thing is, I would look at, for example, the 50% mark of last week, right? The fact that we're busy ranging above the 50% mark tells me that we would probably look to break to the upside. So that's the weekly time frame. On the daily, look, like it looks really, really good, right? So on the daily, I would look for a pullback to at least 50%. Actually, gold looks really, really good. So pull back to 50%, which is essentially our entry point, and then there afterwards, go along and hopefully break this resistance. So gold is actually a pretty good setup. Yeah, hope that answered your question, bro. Yeah, I also think so. I think we like gold has to just hit 2550. Like I think we'll hit 2550, and then probably depending on all the inflation data and stuff. Like obviously, if the dollar gets stronger, then gold would go down. Please, can I see your NAS chart again? Sure, no stress, bro. NAS. Yeah, that's my NAS setup. Bro, it's just setting up so nice for all-time high. Gold is so predictable at these times lately. Yeah, it has. The only thing that annoys me is just when it consolidates. Because when it consolidates, obviously it's just like, you don't want to be stuck in the same trade. You could literally hold like one position for like 3 weeks now, and it would be cruising close to like BE. So hopefully we get that. And also with this fundamental stuff coming out now, it could give gold a good reason to break the previous all-time highs. Last week low and high and marked out golden zone for longs, and it's very close to entry point for today. Yeah. So the main thing with trading, just keep an open mind. Like you might have a bias, but your bias might be wrong, right? So like yesterday, my bias for gold was actually a short, but based off how we closed yesterday, the daily chart, obviously my bias has switched now. And yeah, here's the stats so far for our account. So we started with 10K. We started with 10K yesterday, and we had a 0.76% loss, which isn't too bad to be fair, but yeah, we obviously need to recover. And our profit target is $1,076. Oh, and here's the trades that we took. So yeah, we took a loss on gold, and then when Nasdaq was actually a BE, but it turned out to be a loss. I think my stop loss was a little bit too tight to my entry. But this trade was like up like $40-50, but it wasn't nearly close to my TP1 or TP2. So that's why we took a BE. Are you the real Jamie? Bro, I could be AI for you, a very smart AI. Is Ethan's strategy? Yeah, Ethan's strategy is different to mine. Ethan and JMO, they essentially trade breakouts. Mine is kind of like a mixture of everything. So yeah, I still incorporate like breakouts, but I look for breakouts in zones of more confluence. I don't look for breakouts just based off a support or resistance. So that's why I use Fibonacci levels, trend lines, fair value gaps, and also Japanese candlesticks. So I use quite a few more elements, but also my trades, I look for big moves, so I look for big moves. So my system is actually really good for, it's good for everything like prop firms and personal funds, but I basically developed the system based off trading with your own money. Smart Jamie concepts, there we go. That's the name of the strategy. Afternoon guys, high appointment, hence late. Are we in a trade? Wendy, no, not yet. We have CPI at 2:30, so we can only really take a trade just after 2:30. I think guys, just confirm it's 2 minutes after news, right? So we can take a trade 2:32. Good day, brother. What's up, bro? That's right. Okay, so 2 minutes. So yeah, to be honest, we might trade just after CPI. So I'd say like try come on at like maybe 2:15. Explain consistency rule 45%, please. So from my understanding is that your highest chat, just confirm with me, right? Your highest profit that you've made, it can't be 45% above that, if I'm correct. To be honest, it's a stupid rule, bro. Like the 45% consistency rule is so stupid. I don't even have a consistent daily routine, and you want me to have a come on now. Your strategy is more on price. Yeah, essentially. I don't like to just base it off like one thing. It's quite a few things. Both phases. Yeah, also hope so. Can I see your gold trade setup? Yeah, sure. So my gold trade setup, here's it over here. There you go. How long do you trade per day? How many hours? Arun, so if I had to break it down for you, like because I look for bigger moves, like you can easily have half the trading time if you look for like for example like TP1, right? So let's just say TP1 would be Tuesday's 1.618 as well as last week's high. If you're just looking for this, you could easily get out. But I actually just maximize days. So for me, it's just like instead of me just hitting and closing fully at 2529, I'd rather take a partial and try aim for 2547, right? Because I'd rather maximize that daily movement, especially if my bias is correct, than just be quick in, quick out. So to answer your question in terms of how long my trades are, sometimes we can go from like entering a trade at like New York session and be stuck until like afternoon session. So I'd say like probably like 6-7 hours sometimes, but it just depends on the volume and how price is moving. Sometimes we can get out in like 30 minutes or an hour. But because we're looking for the bigger moves, that obviously means that our waiting time is going to be a lot longer. I just joined now. So yeah, essentially with gold, we have a 1 hour ascending trend line as well as Tuesday's golden zone. And we have yet to fill 50% of the previous day. So I'm looking at taking longs at about 2511, but we just need to be cautious because we do have a fair value gap lower down. um, 2506 to about 2508. But we just see how price reacts to this trend and the golden zone on the 5-minute time frame, and then we essentially aiming for all-time highs as well as a new all-time high being 2547. So yeah, guys, if you guys don't have any other questions, I'll probably come on again in like 45 minutes. I think waiting here for 40 minutes will be a little bit silly. Unless there's questions flowing, then calm, that's okay. But yeah, if there's no other questions, then I think we'll end the stream here, and then I'll be back in 45 minutes, basically 30 minutes before CPI. So we do have CPI at 2:30, South African time. And we'll probably enter trade just after CPI. We have to do that because of our profit rules. How long you been trading consistently with this method? I would say like consistently maybe like a year or two. It's kind of like developed over time. So yeah. But consistently like a year or two. I see you draw your fib from top to bottom. Yes, I do, Kim. But it depends on your bias. Alright, cool guys. So I'll see you guys in 45 minutes. To the peeps on the YouTube, if you want, just join again. We will be watching CPI for Nasdaq and gold. So yeah, I'll see you guys in like 40 minutes or so.